somehow Air-Deraan returned.
That's right. After eating our way through an entire bag of groceries, we have come back to tell you about our entire experience. And yes, you are not wrong. You didn't come to a little groceries review podcast. We are, in fact, talking about Bad Batch tonight. Because that's what we do. Because we are on Air-Deraan.
Wow.
And that's just our brand, being bad at our jobs. And who is so bad at our jobs? Well, it is the big man himself, Freddy.
Whoa, that's me.
And the other big man himself,
Luke, which is you.
hell yeah. Usually accompanied by a Zygerian, but this time I cast him out for his many, many crimes.
Yeah, I thought you getting out that shovel on camera was a bit too graphic to put in the thumbnail this time, Luke. I don't think I can edit out all the blood. Sorry. Well, maybe this week we are talking about the entire season 1 of Bad Batch as a whole.
Yes, the series which until like 2 weeks ago I was adamant was going to be the only series. Well, didn't quite turn out to be the case. Well, we have many, many things to say about this. I think that's safe to say.
Indeed.
We are going to be going about this in a slightly different fashion than usually.
The structure of the whole thing is different.
I was trying to avoid that word because it still annoys me that came out of my mouth at one point. But yes.
Look, we have to stick by it. It's the tradition now.
It's our brand, Deraan, I guess.
Whoa. On brand Deraan.
But basically, since you already know our... I'm trying to think of an award here. Our Hugo Award, we've probably done that, but who cares?
We've done Hugo Award.
Hugo Award winning segment, the light side, the dark side, and the one in the middle, the Bendu.
The Bendu.
Well, we're basically going to turn this entire episode into a bigger version of that.
The bigger
Bendu theory, yes.
You know, behind Tom Baker, in certain shots, the reason why the Bendu disappeared when Thrawn, fired his shot isn't because the Bendu could just disappear. It's actually it went into the smaller Bendu. So the bigger Bendu is the Bendu that Thrawn was talking to, and the smaller Bendu is the one that disappeared. And that's what we usually talk about in each episode.
Yeah, that we've definitely talked about this 42 times at this point.
Whoa. As said in your spreadsheet.
The spreadsheet in question is the collation of all of the light sides, dark sides, and Bendus that we've done. And we are going to go episode by episode and see what this show was even about, because obviously I've forgotten everything that I've ever watched.
As true Star Wars fans.
We are going to see how accurate our predictions from our aptly named predictions episode were. And then we're going to cap it off with... Well, no, that is the final segment. That is how we're capping it off. Sorry for spoiling the grand finale. And we're also going to be giving our final judgments on what was the actual light side, dark side, and the one in the middle, the Bendu, of this roller coaster of emotions that Bad Batch Season 1 was. Does that seem about correct, Freddy?
Yep, I thought we were doing the sum up first.
Do not be afraid to correct me on literally everything I say. You know what they. You know how they say. That I know that you're lying because you're moving your mouth. You could say about me, I know that Luke is wrong because he's moving his mouth.
I can't see you moving your mouth though.
Well,
all I can see is your name
and the shovel and everything.
Oh yeah, and the shovel. Yeah.
Yeah, my signed shovel that I used to slaughter my enemies. That's a JoJo's character. Literally, that's what he does.
What?
There's a JoJo's character whose whole thing is he has a shovel.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like a very good character detail. And some people say that the Bad Batch is shallow.
Ooh, shallow like the graves that none of them have yet. Which spoilers. Look, you're not going to go to a season roundup not expecting spoilers, are you?
Yeah, if you did, then you're a bit of an idiot. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I think we don't have to be too safe with this. No Grand Admiral thoughts in this entire episode. Some Grand Admiral Thrawn, perhaps. Everything is spoilers. Everything is spoilers. Everything is spoiled when you're part of the crew.
Spoiler? Dun, 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 dun. That was terrible. Why do I do this?
I feel like this joke has run its course a year ago.
Yeah. Is that how long Everything's a Drum's been out for?
Roughly, I think.
Wow, that's actually crazy.
Indeed.
I think we found out that Bad Batch was going to happen less than a year ago.
I don't think that's the case.
Yes, it is the case, because we found out Bad Batch was going to happen in our Kathleen Kennedy Appreciation Hour episode.
Huh. Well, fancy that.
Yeah.
I would have sworn that there was buzz about it for longer, but... Huh.
I don't think there was there? I don't...
Wasn't it, like, confirmed that they will have their own show, like, around the time that their arc came out?
Oh. I need to look it out now.
Which would still not make it much more than a year, honestly.
Oh, it was announced on the 13th of July. My mistake. Sorry, guys, I was wrong.
Oh, that is... Well, it's basically a year.
Yeah, and now it's finished.
So you're not really a fake fan.
Not really a fake fan.
But it was less than a year between the announcement and the release, so... Let's say that if I close both of my eyes and give you a little bit of a leeway, I can say that you are not a fake fan.
Oh, thank you. It's just like a mega fan judgment thing. It's like we decide if you're a fake fan or not.
Yeah, we are the arbiters of fandom.
Yeah,
we are the true gatekeepers.
Yes.
That one pub in Cardiff can... We are the one and only gatekeepers.
Well, that pub is also a Wetherspoon, so yeah, it should go away.
Yeah, it really should. That was also a very niche joke. Who knows all the Wetherspoons in Cardiff?
I reckon, no, that's like a entire UK thing.
Well, Wetherspoons, yes, but
no, but the fact that Wetherspoons fired their staff.
Oh yeah, when the pandemic began.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows that Wetherspoons should go to the bin.
Yeah.
Their boss, anyway.
To the bin. Yeah, so that therefore we are the official gatekeepers.
Yeah, we're gatekeeping Wetherspoons out of our mouths.
Yeah, but talking of gatekeeping...
Yes.
I'm going to gatekeep you as a Bad Batch fan, because you haven't said what your light side of the entire series might be.
Oh no! Well, since I haven't said it, you will have to say it first.
Oh no, that's not how I wanted this to go.
Well, fair enough. I will be so gracious and save you from this.
I do have a light side.
Okay.
For this entire show. And if you don't know what this show is and you're watching a spoilers thing for it, I'm not going to explain anything. I'm sorry. Because we want to just jump straight into the light side, dark side, and the one in the middle of the bendu, and my light side happens to actually be the time period that this entire show has been in. The transition period between like Revenge of the Sith and like the start of like the Empire. Because I think it did it very well. I had a lot of fears, and I don't think it really got to any of them yet, because there's still clone troopers around as like as stormtroopers. There are TK troopers, which is interesting, but they haven't like become the main thing. No introduction of straight up stormtrooper armor, no Venators, nothing like that. None of what I was scared of.
No Star Destroyers, you mean? There are indeed still Venators.
I said Star Destroyers.
No, you said Venators.
Oh.
It's fine. We know what you meant. Any eagle-eared listener should know how much you've enjoyed every single sight of a painted grey Venator, or the Juggernaut vehicles, or painted grey LA-ATs. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm surprised that we didn't see many of the transports from the Ahsoka arc in, the Jedi that knew too much. Do you remember those transport ships?
I do not believe so, no.
They're in the second Darth Vader comic. The one where he kills Fox?
Yes. Haven't we seen one of them, though? I seem to remember you talking about one of those.
Maybe, but I'm surprised we didn't see more of them, that's all.
Oh, you know what I might be thinking of? I might be thinking of the transports from the Tragedy.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about those ones.
Yeah. Because I've recently went through literally all of our episodes, excluding Spunkstone, because that one doesn't exist, and collated all of the bendus so that we can do this fairly easily, ish.
Yeah.
But it would have been cool to see more of this stuff, and maybe even the transports from the Siege / Rebels, the ones where the prisoners were stood in and stuff.
I think that would be too early.
It is possible, as you said.
Those are full-on Imperial stuff. I would actually be opposed to seeing them this early.
That is very fair. This indeed is the age of V-Wings as opposed to TIE Fighters, and...
Exactly. I was very happy to see V-Wings.
Even though we only saw them like twice.
I think we saw them in 3 episodes, but I would have liked to have seen more.
Yeah, I think the very beginning, the very ending, and that one, admittedly fantabulous dogfight in the episode The War Mantle, I believe.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I liked seeing that.
It was a good episode all around. But yeah, I would say that's a good light side for this season. It's a time period that is, as of yet, still not too explored. As far as I know, the only other thing that took place at this same period was that one Darth Vader comic.
Yeah.
The one that canonized Oppo Rancisis' survival.
Yeah, I'm glad that he did survive for that long.
Yeah.
Maybe he's still around. Maybe he will outlive Rey.
Well, we do know that he is extremely long-lived, since he was on the Council in the High Republic times. He might well be the real last Jedi. Even though we have ruled that he is the first Jedi as well.
Mate, so when Luke says, "I will not be the last Jedi," he's not talking about Rey, he's talking about Oppo Rancisis.
Exactly.
Whoa.
And perhaps Yarl Poof, who I'm pretty sure is also alive.
If Yarl Poof and Oppo Rancisis become the last Jedis, I believe Coleman Cadge is still alive.
Oh God.
I think we've got our dream team just there, our dream Jedi team. Coleman Cadge, Yarl Poof, and Oppo Rancisis.
Yeah, they're going to be the counterpoint to the Paperclip Club.
Yeah, so they'll be like the foil to the... They've got to like foil the New Republic's use of like all of these war criminals.
Yeah, they are the Galactic Justice Warriors.
The Galactic Justice... Is that a reference to something? I don't know what that is.
It's a social justice warrior joke. It's probably a bad joke.
Oh, sorry.
It was a bad joke. There's definitely a better name to give them.
talking of bad, what is your opinions, which are just bad, but your light side opinions?
Oh wow, that was an interesting and slightly insulting segue, but I will take it. Okay, my bad opinion about a good thing is, well, it's a good opinion, I would say, because I was going to praise the performance of Michelle Ang and the personalization, even though not necessarily the entire character of Omega. I really thought that she was by far the best written child in Star Wars, like, ever. And also best performed, probably.
I 100% agree, yeah.
Even though we do really like Ahsoka, I'm not sure that she counts as much, since she's, like, a bit older. And also, in the beginning, she wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it written down here that Omega's characterization was so good that it almost made me forget that she's the whitest Maori in the galaxy.
That is true. I feel like that is just going out of the system of the episode. I feel like that is just a large criticism we have and remained and was never addressed.
Yeah, we kind of stopped talking about it at some point when we realized that Omega is a good character. But
that's the thing. Is like, yeah, she's a good character, but then, like, at the very heart of not her character, but like existence or look or whatever you want to say, it's like, and the same with like the rest of the Bad Batch. It's like, minus their character, they're all like way whiter than they should be.
Yeah. Like,
and the thing is, like, every time you see fans doing like a fan live action versions of the Bad Batch, their skin tones are obviously the same as Tamara Morrison. But like, they're clearly not in the Bad Batch animated show.
Yeah.
So like, what's going on? Like, why?
I don't know. I don't know that I want to analyze it too much, because any reasons for this are just a little disturbing. Like, I don't know, that I don't want to think that Disney thinks that kids would reject any browner characters.
It's like, I don't understand the process. Like, is it a conscious decision? Like, surely it can't be a conscious decision. Because that would be really bad.
Yeah. At the very least, they are still adamant in live action that clones look like Tamara Morrison.
Oh yeah, I'm glad about that. And like that he is like the official voice and stuff.
Yeah, he's still the canon. But I am a little worried that if they make like a live action thing with Omega in it, that she will be played by like Millie Bobby Brown or something.
Don't you dare. Millie Bobby Brown. Oh, didn't you recommend The Rock's Daughter?
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, that doesn't get mentioned.
Just, I don't know, find a better way to portray the clones and, you know, Maori people and darker skinned people in general. Why make her blonde? That's the most baffling thing about this for me.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I don't know.
I think they maybe wanted to differentiate her from like young Boba and other clones a little bit, but there are better ways to do that.
Yeah, I feel like if you're worried that I feel like that would actually make it worse. Don't you think? Like, if they decided, oh, we can't have two characters the same hair color, skin tone. So I know. Let's just change both of them so that she's more identifiable. Like, I feel like that actually is worse.
Yeah.
Because that's like saying that they wouldn't be individually identifiable.
Yeah. And I think that if she looked like a lot more like young Boba, that would only like make it better. Like, you know.
I agree. because she doesn't look like Boba Fett at all. We've talked about this at length early on in the series, but she does not look like Boba Fett.
Even the young Boba Fett, Daniel Logan or whatever his name is, Donald Logue. I don't know.
Daniel Logan. Yeah, she doesn't look like him.
And like, obviously, we also talked about that Disney would never put like a non-binary or like queer character in their kids show yet, at least.
No. I think it'll be several years before Disney do that.
If not a decade or more.
Yeah.
But like,
technically that's included in several years can go up to a decade, so
that is true. That is true. But like, having her look almost exactly like all the other clones and presenting more masculine, perhaps, that would be something that people would appreciate, just put a little bit of gender spice in your show, make it a bit more tasty.
Yeah.
Every good grocery bag has some spice in it,
Yeah. Do you think that she's blonde and whiter because of the Kaminoans who love eugenics? No, I don't mean like seriously. I mean, do you think people will say that?
It's an excuse that they can give it.
Yeah.
Or maybe that she looks more like, I don't know, Jango Fett's mum or something. I don't know.
Oh, I've heard that so many times. I've heard that. So, like, Jango Fett's mum was actually blonde. It's like, I'm pretty sure that's not true. And that's not even canon anymore, so who cares?
Yeah. I think that people were talking about Jango Fett's late wife. That somehow...
Yeah.
But still, that
we
doesn't
don't know
make
what
sense.
she looks like, though.
That was a Legends thing, I think. Not even in Legends?
I'm looking... Jango Fett's wife. No, Jango Fett's wife... is oh no, that's Boba Fett's wife.
Of course, he has a wife as well.
Yeah, who's got black hair, by the way. I'm looking up Jango Fett, but I can't find. Oh my god, Boba Fett with his wife, and Boba Fett's wearing. It's like a picture of Boba Fett, his wife, and his baby.
Oh no!
And Boba Fett's wearing his full armor in the holographic picture. It's like a family photo, and everyone's got their helmets off, but Boba Fett's still wearing full armor. I got a feeling it's because that piece of art was created before it turned out Boba Fett was a Jango clone.
It's feasible, and they didn't want him to look like that mustachioed fella.
Whoa!
Rest in peace.
Boba Fett had a wife called a wife and this is the I saw a reference to the that comic that Mr. Sunday Movies talked about when Boba Fett hunts down a clone who had a son. A son named Connor.
I see.
Connor Freeman. That's actually his name. I can't find anything about... There's literally nothing about Jango Fett's wife. Is that on the Legends Wikipedia page? There's literally nothing about his wife.
Well, I guess that the people were just talking out of their ass.
Is this like a one of those false canon things? I was talking about like how people know, like from Star Wars, that Ewoks are called Ewoks. Even as a child, I knew that Ewoks were called Ewoks, but I never saw any Ewok toys. I never had any Ewok toys. They never say the name of the species in Return of the Jedi, ever. They're not in the credits, not in anything. Yet I still knew they were Ewoks. Is this like a false version of that? Like everyone thinks like that Jango Fett has a wife who died, and so therefore he got a son, through Boba Fett.
They do say the word Ewoks in those... remember how we discussed those like recaps of the sagas that are done on like the VHSs? like
We did talk
C-3PO and
about
R2-D2 talking about what happened in like episode 2, where they weren't even. I think they said Ewok
Yeah.
in there. But yeah,
But we can't remember where that was.
it could be literally at any point in our podcast.
Yeah.
But probably around Mando times. And also, yeah, like another thing like that was like apparently like even like in the 90s, like everyone knew that Vader was the way he was because he fell into lava. But that obviously wasn't in anything.
Yeah, it wasn't in anything, but it was the original plan, wasn't it? But it wasn't like as grandiose.
Probably. It's
Or was it?
But I still don't
because-
know how it would spread to like everyone.
Yeah, or was it because like the final duel was meant to be in a lava cave?
I do not know about that, but also, how would everyone know that?
I don't know.
Was it maybe like a big interview that George Lucas did on like Letterman or whatever, Jay Leno or whoever was happening in the
Maybe.
80s?
Probably Jon Stewart.
I don't think that Jon Stewart has been on TV that long.
I'm kidding because of the Stu John thing.
Right, yeah. Darth Vader fell into
ma-
a big pot of stew.
I think that, yeah, I think that Mustafar and lava thing is similar to how, I'm not sure if you heard this as a kid, but when I was a kid, everyone was saying how George Lucas, when he made Episode 4, just before then, he wrote like this huge book that was all 6 of the Star Wars films, but it was like this huge story. But he decided that he couldn't make the first 3 because of technological constraints, so he decided to make the last 3.
Yeah, I
you
heard
ever
the
heard
exact same stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah, and I believed that for like years.
Same. How does that spread, though?
I know.
like, all
so
over
where
the
does that
world.
come from?
Is that like a Jungian collective unconscious that literally everyone knows these things? Somehow.
Literally.
It's
Everyone knows
encoded
that
into
Jango
our
Fett has a
DNA.
wife. Everyone knows that
Everyone
George
knows that
Lucas...
Borat has a wife.
Everyone does know that, yeah. Oh, God.
This is my plan for the Star Wars prequels.
We're talking about bad things. God.
Bad impressions
such
of
as
bad
Borat.
characters.
What was your dark side for the entirety of Bad Batch?
Oh, we're switching up the order. I like it. Okay. Well, I had 2 prepared in case you went first and took one of them. So,
Whoa!
if it turns out that we had the same dark side, I can still retroactively change it. But the first one I had written down was the apparent lack of a singular vision for the overarching story, or lack thereof.
Oh, yeah, one.
Because as we've discussed almost every episode, it seems like they can't decide whether this wants to be a story of the Bad Batch and Omega or the story of the galaxy at large.
Yeah. We discussed it at length last week.
Yes. But also it came to me that basically the entirety of Crosshair's story happened in the first and last episode, and everything in the middle was largely meaningless.
Yeah, which is a shame.
He, even after he asked Admiral Rampart to be able to track the Bad Batch down, he never did. He only found Hunter after he got captured by accident.
Yeah.
It was just a whole bunch of nothing. All of the dad stuff between Hunter and Omega, that went in circles several times. Omega's backstory got never really fully realized. Even in the finale, we just got a few more vague hints.
And we're still speculating about it.
Exactly. This show was just spinning its wheels the entire time, kind of. And almost the entirety of the latter half was just one-off episodes. Or 2-off episodes, you know.
But remember, a lot of the first half was one-off episodes.
You say that, but not necessarily. Most of them led right into each other. Maybe with
that is true.
not even with the exception of Rampage, because we had the pilot Aftermath, obviously, at the end of which they said there goes Seleucami. After Seleucami, then there was a little bit of downtime to focus on the Crosshair with replacements. But then Fennec Shand happened. After Fennec Shand, they were searching for answers about bounty hunters in Rampage. After Rampage, they were doing a mission for Sid, which put them on collision course with the Martez sisters. After Martez sisters, what was after then? Was it straight that Rex found them, or was there one in the middle in there?
I think there was one in the middle.
There was a Bendu before then. But then Rex found them. They got their chips removed. Then Crosshair found them.
Rex found them.
Cad Bane.
Rex found them the episode after.
Yeah, there's an episode that I'm blanking on a little bit.
Straight after the Trace and Rafa episode.
Oh, immediately. Well, even better then.
Yes.
But after Cad Bane got dealt with, then episodes 9 through 13, I think, were just kind of not doing anything.
Yeah.
Because we went to Raxus, which was a cool episode, but completely self-contained, basically. And Omega didn't even go with them. Remember, she was playing Jarek. She was learning how to gamble, which never paid off.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, that was your dark side. I remember that. Then there was the Ryloth 2-parter, which the only significance of that one was that Crosshair was now officially hunting the Bad Batch, which never amounted to anything, literally.
Yeah, because he didn't find them.
Yeah, we didn't even see him looking for them.
Yeah.
And then we had goddamn Infested, which was about nothing. Just about some Deveronian douche who...
Yeah. But maybe he'll be a big part of season 2.
Maybe, but I don't think that would make the entire latter half, or like the middle portion of this show, any more impactful.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, we've talked about the quote-unquote filler adjacent episodes of The Mandalorian, but I feel like this is a different thing.
With the filler episodes of The Mandalorian, quote unquote, they actually do serve to build up character.
Yes.
Whereas, and linking to my dark side, there was a stark lack of characterization in this season.
Oh, yes.
So even where there were quote-unquote filler episodes, they were more so filler episodes in The Mandalorian because they didn't actually develop the characters. Like, how many voice lines did Echo have? What is Echo's character?
I think that he had basically only 2 character moments in the entire show.
In Braxis?
I don't know about Raxus. What did he do on Raxus?
He was like, I don't want to work with a Confederate.
Yeah, okay, he had a handful more than 2, but the ones I was thinking of was him being traumatized about droids in Aftermath. Where he had that big tantrum after being scanned. And the second one being that one joke that was so baffling. Is there an echo here? That was like his one quip. And it's true that afterwards he was a little apprehensive about taking jobs for money, as opposed to working with Rex and for the good of the galaxy.
He only said that once, though.
He had a few death glares at Hunter. Or someone near the end. I don't even remember.
But not enough.
He was barely even there. And there was that one time that he dressed up as a droid. But that wasn't really...
I didn't like that, actually.
And yeah, it also didn't go much anywhere. He said that he has a better price than like 1,000 credits, but big whoop.
Did you see how the high quality action figure or statue thingy of Echo, and it has or posable statue, whatever. It has on his robot arm. He had like modular things that would attach to it.
Oh,
like gadgets that would attach to his arm. You know, like a giant hammer, a big gun, a grapple hook, things like that.
That's really cool. It's a shame he never did any of that.
And consequently, he had nothing.
Yeah.
Because like, his role was basically...
He was a human C-3P, human R2-D2.
And his... the stuff he did was continually changed. Like, sometimes Tech was doing it, but sometimes Echo was doing it. And sometimes the things Echo was doing, Tech would also take on the next episode. And it's like, what are their roles?
He could have and should have been another emotional core of the batch, next to the father-son, brother-sister dynamic with Omega. Echo should have been the one that they are trying to like get over all his traumas.
Yeah. But unfortunately he didn't.
And he has, like, at least in my opinion, the best design out of the entire Bad Batch.
Yeah, probably. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, his is it a Scomplink arm?
I think that's what it's called.
Or, yeah, with his arm, I think his helmet is amazing. Like, of all the Bad Batch, he is the one that I would want to have as a, like, statuette. Even though it's a little bit of shame that he no longer has Rex's handprint on his chest.
That is a shame, actually.
Because apparently he had it on all his armors up until this.
Yeah. The one that we see him get in the Rookies episode.
Yeah, with... it's not Cut-Up's blood, is it? It's the eel's blood.
Yeah.
It would be a bit more macabre if it was
blood.
his friend's blood. I like that I remember there was Cut-Up.
Everyone forgets Cut-Up. Everyone forgets Droid Bait.
Yeah, everyone forgets Sarge or Sentry, whether or not those are their real names.
They're not part of the of Domino Squadron, are they?
No.
But Droid Bait was the leader of Domino Squad.
Allegedly.
What do you mean? No, he was.
I think he was the leader in the prequel in season 3, but in the Rookies episode proper, I don't think there was any indication that he was the leader at all.
No. So Sarge was the leader of that group, but of the people on the Rishi Moon station, there was more than just Domino Squad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, like, when Domino Squad was just a squad, like, Droid Bait is the leader of the squad, but Sarge is the leader on that outpost.
Yeah. I can't wait to get to season 3 so I can see more of Droid Bait.
He actually does have quite a few character moments.
Fun.
And I think, from memory, I think he's the one that gives 99 the medal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the 99 stuff happened before Rishi Moon.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't that happen? Doesn't he get the medal when a Camino gets invaded?
No, he gets the medal in the prequel episode that's just before that.
What for?
I can't remember.
Ah, fair enough. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
A little bit of talking shop, which may or may not get cut out later. I feel like we don't necessarily have to do episodes on Visions. Like, individual episodes. Maybe, like, a roundup when it ends.
Yeah, I agree. I was looking at it, and I know that you might enjoy it. A lot of people will enjoy it. But I'm not sure if I will, and I
honestly wouldn't blame you if you just skipped it. It's not your style, and you viscerally hate that bunny girl.
I do. I cannot take that seriously. I like the weird bunny girl.
It's fine. And it might allow us to get through season 2 and maybe even 3 before the Book of Boba Fett.
You never know.
Yeah.
That bunny girl was like was created because they were annoyed at Space Jam 2.
Seriously?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh yeah, it was a backlash to the SJWs who made Lola Bunny less sexy in the new movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's the sole reason she
saying
exists.
that really hurt, actually.
That was like a cursed sentence right then.
Yeah, we've said many cursed things on the show, but this one I'm really not proud of. And
Even
I've said a lot of that
Nicolas
stuff.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage is a cursed concept, but not necessarily a cursed sentence. If you want cursed sentences, re-listen to Saucy Guerrera.
Wasn't that just the first? That was the first episode. Well, the second episode technically.
That was Cut and Run, I believe. So the third episode.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm getting mixed up between Saucy Guerrera and Saw Guerrera.
And Bee's movie, maybe.
Oh, God, and Bee's movie, Jesus.
Depending on what you classify as cursed, that is a good contender as well. And Anatomy Skywalker. Those are like the holy trinity of bad.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I miss Anatomy Skywalker.
Yeah, well, we've got to talk about Nouveau Vindi then.
There may or may not be more... No, there won't be more reasons to talk about him. Unless we do an episode about the book Rogue One Catalyst, which we never will.
He's in it for literally one
He's
sentence.
not even in it. They just mention his name. And Lock Dirt.
Yeah.
I have to stress that. But, yeah.
Who wrote that book? Was it James Luceno?
I doubt it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't matter.
Probably. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
But talking of things that may or may not have to be covered, you know, things that can just be skipped but are notable on their own. What was your one in the middle, the Bendu, for the entire season?
Well, this one was the hard one, I feel, because there's so many things about this show that are, for better or worse, notable. But I will go with the one that I am still the most unsure what even it was about. Because maybe this will finally help me form my opinion on the cameos in Bad Batch and probably Star Wars TV in general.
Yeah.
Because I am unsure how good they have been. For the most part, I think I liked all of them, but then you get the ones like freaking... Then you get stuff like On Free Tar, which we're both pretty sure they tried to kill off but forgot that they can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Saw Gerrera, who's there just so you can go like, hey, this guy, he's from this show and he met these people. And then he goes away, and I still am unsure if that's a good way to make this show.
Yeah. I agree, but is there really one in the middle?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Seems a bit negative.
Well, because I also liked them. Because on the other hand, I feel like a lot of these characters have ties together, so it makes sense that they would meet the full stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Apart from Trace and Rafa.
No, actually, because they were working for Rex, who does have close ties with the Bad Batch. And Rex would send them to get Droid Head, because...
But why was she working for Rex, and why do they have Ahsoka's droid? Which 100% is not Ahsoka's droid, because it has different paint job. But I'm gonna die on that hill. I keep seeing everyone saying it's Ahsoka's droid, but there's no evidence.
That droid blew up in the Mandalorian arc. On that ship.
Probably, that's true.
How could it not?
Yeah. It's like impossible for it to survive. And also, just because it's called R7, there's got to be like hundreds of R7s.
Yes.
Or more thousands or billions. Who knows?
I do wonder how many astromechs there are in the galaxy.
Yeah, probably more than people, surely. I don't know.
I don't know about that. I would say more like about as many or like twice as many as there are ships, but maybe a little bit more.
Maybe it's like an America gun scenario.
Yeah. But there will never
How many
be
guns are there in Star Wars?
fewer than in America. Oof. But yeah, it's. I feel like the cameos will forever be something that we will grapple with. Because on one
Yeah.
hand, it's weird when you don't have them. On the other hand, it's weirder when you do have them.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% agree, but I do think it could have. They could have found a better balance, one could say, for Bendu.
Indeed, they could be a bit
What?
more in the middle.
Yeah, the Bendu. Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa, I feel like my voice is starting to go. That's weird.
Oh, and you haven't even had the dental.
No, I have that in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
God damn it.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
We are officially the worst podcast on the Citadel.
Oh, sorry, Commander Shepard.
Anyway, let's get back to the Bendu. We're 2 weeks,
What?
and that was a strange connection between the two of us, between kind of like the Bendu. What's your Bendu?
Whoa, that's an amazing segue. I'm actually
Thank
in awe.
you.
But my Bendu probably is. I've been struggling to try and think about things, but I think maybe just like the. Less so for the transition period, because it's like, yeah, it's a transition period, but more so for like how things are being set up or connected with later things, I think is kind of interesting. You know, like the dubium mines on Ryloth, or of Operation War Mantle being from Rogue One. It's kind of interesting as like cameos, but with concepts.
Oh, yes. It's like...
The dubium mines being used for Death Star.
Ah, wonderful.
Because the Death Star's made of dubium.
So they got the workers on Geonosis, the insides on Iago, and the outside on Ryloth. And other places.
What's the inside from Iago?
Not Iago, sorry, Ilum.
Ilum, yeah.
It can't be Iago because Iago was never relevant. Like, honestly, I've just listened to my own rant from A Mystery of a Thousand Moons, but Iago, for something that you would think would... I can't go into this again, but anyway.
Yeah. For something that was mentioned in a movie. Why?
For something that seemed so important to young Anakin.
And no one cared. I think he was just saying it as like a chat-up line.
Yeah, 9-year-old Anakin had the smoothest chat-up lines.
Well, clearly it wasn't very smooth because Padme laughed.
Well, clearly it worked.
Oh, that is true.
She literally died of sadness because of him.
Yeah, she died of sadness, not because he killed kids. But
No.
because he wasn't himself anymore. You know, she
No.
wanted him to go back to when he killed alien kids.
Yeah, I saw a meme recently that was like a picture from like Fox News of Anakin beheading those two Tusken people with the caption, "Brave American soldier defends himself from two radicalized troops."
Oof.
Yeah, it's real sad story, Anakin. If you discount all the bad acting and bad dialogue, it's real sad.
Real sad.
If someone else
times.
adapts the prequel movies into better movies,
Or the George Lucas's original book gets released.
yeah, his episodes 1 through 9 book from 1996.
Yeah, ooh. Fun.
You won't believe what his original vision for Rogue One was. And just you wait until you see the Ralph McQuarrie art for Moff Gideon.
Yes. Well, people do act like that.
It's a nice fairy tale to have George Lucas as this mythical figure who created the whole universe and was slowly drip feeding it to the world. When
he is basically God.
Basically, obviously. And Dave Filoni is Jesus.
Yeah, as we've talked about.
Yeah, they were a nice couple of years when I believed these things. Probably more so of Dave Filoni than George Lucas.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, same. I used to go, oh my god, Dave Filoni. Now I'm less enthusiastic about everything he's done.
Well, because we're getting older and the shine is leaving our eyes.
I'm getting older, and I'm hoping that the Ahsoka show has better cinematography than the Jedi.
And writing. Oh,
God. I still, sometimes I wake up in a cold sweat and think of Michael Bihn's line of, I wonder which side will win. Could be my side, could be your side.
Freddie, I'm receiving breaking news that Michael Biehn will return in a whatever his name was prequel series.
Oh no!
Starring Lindsay Lohan as a grown-up Omega.
God damn it! It would be the worst grown-up Omega.
Who's the whitest person you know? Miley Cyrus?
Who played the ancient one in Doctor Strange?
What is her name?
I know her name because she was also
David Bowie.
The White Witch. She was literally the White Witch in Narnia.
Wasn't that Cate Blanchett?
No.
Huh.
Cate Blanchett was in Indiana Jones 4 as the Russian lady.
Yeah, that opens vault doors with her mind.
I didn't realise that was Cate Blanchett when I first saw the film.
I didn't realise that it was that bad when I first saw that film.
Oh, I did. I did.
It still can be redeemed, you know. James Mangold redeemed the Wolverine. I'm sure he can redeem Indiana Jones.
Tilda Swinton, that's her name.
Tilda Swinton, that's the one.
Yeah. Tilda Swinton has grown up Omega.
Wow.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Right. Now, I suppose we should go into somewhat going over the episodes.
Yeah, I mean, we have 17 of these if you include the predictions, so only 16 of them, but how even do we do this?
Wait, I'm just working that out. 16 times 3 times 2, 96 things.
If we spend a minute on each, that's already over an hour and a half.
That is true.
Let's maybe not.
Maybe we should just go over the ones that we think are still relevant. So I'll get your one in the middle of the bendus in front of you and have a look at or like the light side and the dark sides and just have a look at them, and we'll just talk about the ones we think are still relevant.
Yeah, shall we begin on a whole with the positives?
Yeah, sure. So what positives do you think are what light sides do you think are still relevant?
Well,
for the whole series,
I feel like my my light side from Cut and Run, which was the creativity and variety of the action and choreography, that stuck around for the entirety of the show. I think I was consistently, even in episodes I was a bit less hot about, I was always very high about those scenes, like the dogfight in War Mantle, or Gregor punching guys in the throat in that same episode. Freaking Wrecker throwing stuff at people. That happened more than once. A lot of just really, really good stuff. I have a fake memory of Echo stabbing someone with a scomp link.
I don't think he did.
I'm pretty sure that never happened, but it
would have been cool if he did.
Yeah. Maybe it was just like a weird punch. But even then, I don't know. Do you have one that's still relevant to you?
Well, I said about the quality of animation and the sound design, and I stand by those. I mean, as a whole, The Bad Batch really was an amazing looking and sounding show. Despite some of the issues with the characters, it was an amazing looking show.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Very,
and
very
the music was
so.
Great. I was a bit apprehensive at the Bad Batch's theme at first, but I warmed onto it a lot more.
Yeah, it's not quite as amazing as like the electric guitars and the synths from the Clone Wars movie and Downfall of a Droid. I remember those kicking us in the head with how good they were.
Yeah,
but I thought it was quite pleasant. Maybe with the exception of the Force theme playing when Hera was flying properly for the first time.
I didn't like that one. Yeah, I said that, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I was not a fan. But I still think there were some great moments, and like there were some good relationships between characters portrayed. Like, I maintain that I do still think Cut and Run is my favourite episode because it has the best dad stuff. There was some like I wrote as one of my light sides. I said the relationship between Omega and Wrecker in the episode after War Wounds or Battle Scars or whatever it was called. I
believe that episode was Reunion.
Reunion, yeah.
Those are the two episodes that we seem to struggle with the most. Episode titles, rather.
Every single time I say War Wounds.
And you keep calling Revenge of the Sith Return of the Jedi.
Oh, no, Return of the Sith, Revenge of the Jedi, obviously.
I see. And I call it
the original
Return
chapter
of the
titles. They were the original story titles in the big book.
You say that, but it was actually going to be Revenge of the Jedi.
Yeah, but it had a red logo, but they decided against it.
They would be too evil or something.
I do think Return of the Jedi is a better title.
I also like it.
Because he didn't get revenge.
Not really. And he had that white flap on his coat to symbolize that there's still good in him.
Whoa.
That's a detail that is definitely not true.
I'm pretty sure... Well, I mean, if you're doing film, you can which you are, you can sort of write about that for like an entire paragraph.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely written an essay about the gender representation in Star Wars. So...
Well, you should talk about the race representation in Bad Batch.
I did that about Asterix and Obelix Mission Cleopatra. The second live-action one. The second?
Oh my god. And didn't you say that had the most French man ever?
Pardon? Jean Depardieu?
Didn't you say... Yes.
Yeah, he's exactly. Obelix.
Yeah, literally the most French man ever to exist.
There's also Jean Reno. He's pretty French.
I still think... yeah. True.
Mm-hmm.
I do say that the mystery of Rex's identity wasn't drawn out for too long as a light side, and I do kind of agree with that, because a lot of the things, some things were covered quite quickly, but some things were not addressed as quickly as we wanted to, like with the Crosshair stuff, but some other things like War Mantle and, Rex were, luckily. So
it feels like... It feels like mysteries were the things that weren't drawn out for very long.
Yeah.
But decisions, morality choices, those were extended like even beyond the scope of one series. Like they didn't get resolution on any of that, really.
Yeah, I wrote, you wrote my light side for Rampage as it was exploring the Bad Batch's moral ambiguity. That's not true. That never happens. At length, at least.
They never pulled the trigger on that, no.
Yeah, I thought that in Rampage, I thought that was going to lead on to something a lot bigger and a lot more integral to the show, but that never happens.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, what I thought was that they were going to spend maybe 3 or 4 episodes with Sid, and then they were going to meet Saw Gerrera, who would tell them, guys, what are you doing? This is there's stuff that's way more important. You
Well, I
better
think-
you have to die with the past. Go on, go suicide bomb Camino.
Oh, God, I'm not like sad that didn't happen, but I feel like that would have been. I don't know.
I think it would be like thematically very cool. But for that to happen, I think that Omega couldn't exist.
Yeah, if Omega wasn't a character, I think that would be the way to go with the Bad Batch sacrificing themselves to stop the clones, maybe. And that would be a lot more tragic, that the clones were beyond saving.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, I mean, you said about how Neil Patrick Harris, Hauser himself talking down the riot troopers. That was a great moment of showing like the clones could be converted. But unfortunately, that wasn't really developed later on in the series. It might be in season 2 more, but because that happens, I mean, suicide bombing all the babies probably couldn't really happen.
No. Well, we do know that they moved all the babies, but still.
We do know that. So they probably took them to what is officially called Mount Tantus.
It is, yes.
Yeah, which is from the Thrawn trilogy, the original Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah, on the planet Wayland.
So part of our speculation from last week was actually solidified.
Indeed. To be fair, we did keep getting like seeds of clones here and there being like apprehensive about things, and
Yeah, like the sad clone.
the sad clone at the bridge of the Venator at the end,
Yeah.
which is your final light side. But that was like the one mystery that I feel remained for season 2.
Yeah.
And I do hope that we do get more about this, because now that it seems that TK troopers are getting a steadier foothold, if we get like a bit of a time jump between seasons 1 and 2, then it would be more feasible to start phasing the clones out.
Yeah, I think it would need a time jump.
How long do you think it should take until they get fully rid of clones?
I don't think they should get fully rid of clones until 16 BBY.
So 3 years after?
Yeah. And I
16
think by that
BBY
point,
being when Ahsoka is a thing? The book? Because that was a very specific date.
Ahsoka happens in 18 BBY, I believe. 1 year after the Clone Wars.
Why did you say 16 specifically?
I just think it works better.
Okay, sure.
I think Jedi Knight Fallen Order takes place in 15 BBY. I'm just looking it up.
Just in case, listeners, don't forget that BBY is like before Christ, so the lower number, the later it is.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look up when it takes place. It takes place 3 years. Oh no, I'm looking at Solo. When does Solo take place?
Wasn't like 10 years before? Like 10 BBY?
Well, there has to be stormtroopers then,
Yeah.
don't there? And there has to be stormtroopers by Fallen Order as well, and Venators, unfortunately.
Well, you keep saying Venators when you mean Star Destroyers.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine.
Star Destroyers.
I know how much you love them.
I'm pleased correcting myself the other way round. So Jedi Knight Fallen Order takes place in 14 BBY.
Right.
Solos, Bolo Solo in Solo takes place in 6 years after.
So 8
so 13 BBY? 13 BBY.
Oh, 6 years after the movie, okay.
Yeah.
It would have been weird for you to say 6 years after Fallen Order. That would have been like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So by that point, so at least by 14 BBY or 15 BBY or whatever, then needs to be stormtroopers as the main dudes. But I don't think it should be rushed, because I feel like that would be sad.
It does feel like it won't, because it seems like they are, like, in the final, like, 3-ish episode, there were more clone commandos than I've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly.
And in the concept art, I saw that the greyish clone commandos were called the Royal Guards.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm not sure if that means that they are, like, literally Palpatine's guards, but...
We've seen Palpatine has Red Guards by this point anyway.
Yeah, he had Red Guards at the end of episode 3, didn't he?
He had Red Guards when he was still Chancellor.
Yeah, that's not a red flag at all.
Literal red flag.
Yeah.
Talking about red flags, should we talk about the red
Let's do
column?
Because
So
honestly,
what-
many of my light sides were, your light sides as well, so we've already mentioned.
Yeah. So what dark side do you think was sort of a big... maintained their relevance throughout the show?
Treading water on the Hunter-Omega relationship is, I think, the big one.
Yeah. And
But we've kind of talked about
110%.
that already. How Hunter kept learning the same lessons over and over, and it felt
Almost
like
every
in
week.
the latest couple episodes he regressed the most. It's
Yeah, especially leaving Omega behind in the Raxus episode, I think is really dumb. And it makes me think that the Raxus episode was supposed to happen way sooner.
Yeah. I don't know if we have any information about the production schedule and the production season of this show, but it feels like it was jumbled similarly to the first few series of Clone Wars. But it mattered a bit more because this was supposed to have much more of a through line than Clone Wars ever did.
Yeah, it seems like Bad Batch is supposed to like be a character-centered thing, but it jumps around thematically or with the lessons learned, more like a serial thing. And you can't really have character development in a serial show, can you?
Well,
It's got to go back to the status quo every time.
Yeah,
So
you
like,
can have an
you can't-
amount.
Yeah, because you can't go to a point in a serial show where if someone just drops in and watches any episode for the first time, and if they don't understand, then it's not really a serial show.
Yeah, I thought that television outgrew serial shows, but apparently the makers don't seem to think that either. Like, in the age of streaming, like, the scrolling through channels and randomly landing on Bad Batch episode 8, that's literally impossible to happen.
Yeah. Exactly. I also, my first dark side for this entire show was, I'm going to say what you said. Everyone going, Zommaga, Zommagod, it's my favourite, this beloved character. So
I literally wrote down what you said.
yeah,
You said
everyone
Zomaga
going
like 5 times.
Yeah, well, that is like the exact way that I still maintain that. I think that is true. Everyone was going Zommaga, I can't even say it now. I used to be able to. Everyone was saying that when, well, not actually saying it, but it's like they wanted to elicit that response to some of the cameos. And I feel
Some
like
of
it was,
them, yes.
yeah, and I feel like, yeah, having cameos is cool, but there seemed to be a kind of reliance on cameos. That not like fully, not fully, but they were in a lot of episodes. I believe maybe a few weeks ago we talked about how pretty much every episode has some sort of connection to a show or property outside of this series.
Yeah, many of them do. Fortunately, like the last 3-ish episodes, other than Gregor and a little bit of Rex, they didn't really have much. But it is true that We had Cad Bane, we had Trace and Rafa, we have Rex, we have this and this and this. Bib Fortune is there for some reason.
Yeah. And Moochie.
And Moochie. There was a whole episode about Hera.
2 episodes about Hera.
Well, yes, but Devil's Deal was literally about her. The latter one was about Bad Batch and Hera.
Yeah. So it's just kind of muddled at points.
Yeah.
I did put as a dark side in the 3rd episode, the one with the Ordo Moondragon, that switching from clones to something else is still happening too soon. And for the time, I was right, I think, that they were doing that a bit too soon in the series, but I didn't realise that they'd never do it again. Do you remember in that episode?
A little bit.
You know, it was the one where Crosshair kills all of the people.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the introduction of Rampart's War Mantle.
Yeah, exactly. I thought there was gonna be following Crosshair every episode still, but they didn't until Reunion. We didn't see Crosshair until Reunion,
which was another 3 episodes without him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not.
And then he turned into Dengar. Still a good bit, I think, but yeah, it was a very strange dynamic between this. They really threw many things on the wall, but it is weird what did and didn't stick.
Yeah, I agree, and it makes me feel like there wasn't a wholly, a properly structured idea to what the entire show will be like.
Yeah.
In terms of its beats and stuff. Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out later. I think I'm being quite negative now, but I'm saying on the whole, I think it worked.
Yeah,
But I don't. But I'm saying it was good. I don't think it would be good to say that it didn't have flaws.
Yes. We are Star Wars fans. We are the people who have to complain the most.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying that on the whole it was good.
Yeah, because it was good, but we don't want Lucasfilm to just release the bare minimum.
Literally.
And I don't want to say that this felt like the bare minimum, but it did feel like a bit of a limp attempt.
Yeah, a bit of a Obi-Wan attempt.
Yep.
I'm sorry I said that again.
I wouldn't have known what you meant if I didn't literally listen to it like yesterday. It wouldn't be a proper episode if we didn't say the word flaccid.
Damn right. There's another one that I think I was validated in saying, and it's that I didn't appreciate the cliffhanger at the end of the penultimate episode. And it seems that a lot more people than just myself were saying that probably would have worked better if it was the 2-parter was just 1 episode.
It would have worked a lot better that way, I feel, as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were planning on doing that but couldn't, or what the hell even happened.
Yeah.
I don't. It's sometimes when I think about this, I just get a little baffled.
Yeah. Oh well, baffled batch.
Baffled batch. Baffled.
Baffle Rick.
We're doing this again?
No.
I guess we've already done the B word, so why not do all the band things.
References.
There aren't too many band references other than those 2.
Yeah.
Like, we're not supposed to talk about the running joke that we stopped doing ages ago.
I have to remember what the running joke was. It probably was like 40 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember the running joke.
Yeah, the sequel to our favorite running joke.
Yeah, the sequel.
Faking jokes.
Yeah. Faking jokes.
Yeah.
Talking about bad things, though, were there any more things that you think maintained?
Well, depends. I had one about not enough plot in my Bad Batch, too much action.
What?
Too much action and character. That didn't really end up sticking that much.
That's why I think Cut and Run was the best episode.
Yeah, because it had like everything, or maybe the most character. For the record, this was my dark side for Cornered, the Fennec Shand episode.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 4. Which was literally the first quarter of the series.
Oof.
But other than that...
I noticed one thing you were 100% wrong at, though.
Yes.
Was when you were saying about Todo 360. I remember you saying... Why did he get his foot shot off? It ruined the moment.
No,
it's like it played a big part in the episode following.
I do agree that it turned out relevant in Bounty Lost, but I still maintain that it ruined the tension in that Wild West shootout.
Maybe this is how people feel toward Roland Durand.
What exactly about him?
Maybe they were like me. Maybe the people defending Roland Durand and Infested are like me defending Todo 360 getting his foot shot off.
Oh, which is in turn like both of us defending The Prisoner and Sanctuary.
Whoa. I mean, I was defending... I like both of those episodes. They're great.
Yeah, same.
Most people probably forget the Sanctuary, though, let's be honest.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably prefer to not think about it much because it was the introduction of everyone's favorite Lothcats into Mandalorian.
Yeah, exactly.
And not anyone else.
It was a good episode, though. She wasn't in it as much as as you think, I don't think.
No. And she was, I guess, still cool back then. I don't know.
I don't know. What about some... classic one in the middle of the bendus?
Well, I feel like we will breeze through this a lot because a lot of them are like tiny things, like the little lizard in I almost said War Wounds as well, in Battle Scars. I don't even remember what that was.
That little wizard, that little lizard
came from the moon.
Was Ruby, was the one from Infested, right?
Oh, yeah, actually, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It all ties together now. I like the episode poetry, Infested now.
You like it. It's redeemed itself.
Yeah.
The semantics of the change from the Republic and Chancellor to Empire and Emperor was something that actually, and the actuallying each other was actually a thing that carried on through the entire show, I think, actually.
A good amount, I would say.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, just a semantic change from the Republic to the Empire. Although people didn't talk about how like the Republic wasn't the greatest thing, like at the end of the Clone Wars.
In the show, you mean?
Yeah.
Not much more than one of those war mantle guys in Replacements.
Yeah.
And they fairly quickly stopped being happy about the Empire being there when we got like Raxus and Ryloth, because they wouldn't be happy there.
Yeah.
But that was once more something good that Cut and Run did. I think that was the one where people were the most happy.
Yeah, no, I was 100% most happy with that.
Oh, I meant the citizens like lining up to get their chain codes and everything.
Yeah, no, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Although, one thing that I think is interesting that it remained consistent, but I think starts at the wrong place, is when what episode was it? How the Bad Batch didn't kill anyone on Raxus in
episode 10.
In episode 10, yeah.
Or 9 or whatever.
Or whatever episode that was. Because they didn't kill any clone troopers after that, apart from Wrecker.
And the ones that they shot down and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a little inconsistent.
But it was consistent after Raxus, I mean. Like, they didn't kill people after Raxus. But there was no inciting incident for why they didn't. They just suddenly stopped. And, like, as I've said, I don't necessarily have a problem with non-lethal force, obviously, in Star Wars. So I think people shouldn't be... But the thing is, like, if you have the non-lethal force available, it does make it morally questionable to not always use it. So I think they should have adjusted it a bit more, but it remained consistent that they didn't kill clone troopers after Raxus. That's all I meant.
Yeah. There did end up being a few too many unaddressed things on the grounds of the morality and everything. It might end up being like an Arrow situation where in season 3 he stops killing people for a bit, then he starts killing people again, then he stops killing people again, and every time they mined about 5 episodes of plot out of it.
Wow. I don't think they can do that for Bad Batch, or will they?
I don't think that Bad Batch will be nearly that long. I think I said that it will be at most 4 seasons.
I think it will be 3.
3 is quite likely. I wouldn't be even surprised if it's 2.
Whoa.
But at most it's 4.
Yeah. We'll see.
Honestly, I think that it would have been better served if they made it 1 season.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we don't know what season 2 is going to be like yet, so we could be made to look really stupid.
Yeah, when the Air-Deraan comes back and is the most important person in the galaxy. When he takes over Crimson Dawn from Kira.
Yeah, after War of Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, Kira takes off her mask and it's been Air-Deraan this whole time.
Oh, God. Like in the end of Scooby-Doo 2.
Monsters Unleashed, yeah.
Yeah. One of the middles, the Bendus, actually for Rampage, I think is very true. And that is how there's a new planet every episode and new locations every time. And it's true, and I think that's really cool. Because, like, we don't really... Pretty much every episode has a new set piece. And it takes a long time to do that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty happy that they did that.
They did have the advantage of being able to poach, like, designs and some assets from the animate arcs.
Oh, they did that a lot.
Yeah, like, Ord Mantell was poached from Son of Dathomir. Pantora was poached from the Quinlan Voss stuff.
Yeah, Dark Disciple.
That one. And
a load of assets and characters.
Yeah, Caleb Dune and Depa Bilaba were poached from episode 8.
I completely forgot that.
We did not end up seeing what's his name? Paul Bettany.
Young Paul Bettany, no we didn't.
Which you were pretty adamant that he'll show up, I think.
I'm adamant he will show up still.
He still can. I don't think there's too much of a time limit on those assets.
What I'm glad we didn't see is young Cassian Andor.
Yeah, or like young Han Solo, even though we've been to Corellia. They were fairly... They seem to be fairly... With the exception of Hera, I guess. They're a bit more conservative about showing like child versions of those characters. And I think that Hera is the exception because we've allegedly already seen her before, even younger than she is now.
Yeah, although she changed skin color.
Yeah, and we've seen her parents, so it would make sense to see her as well. Hera.
Whoa.
That's literally how you spell it.
Yeah. He-Ra, She-Ra.
And as was one of my light sides, she was characterized very well. She did have those like almost literal like Pixar-esque scenes for herself.
No, those episodes were good. I like those.
They were just a little out of place, I felt.
We talked about our best positioning for those episodes last week. I can't remember what I said, but I agree with myself in the past.
Yeah. Let's give ourselves a medal for making the best viewing order for Bad Batch.
Well,
honestly,
the machete order.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think you would miss out on anything if you did change the order that way.
No, I think we probably could decide on an order at some point.
Yeah. For a potential rewatch. When Bad Batch, from a certain point of view, comes out, and we need to refresh ourselves.
Yeah. And we create our own version.
Yeah, we can do another 8-minute segment about whose points of view we would have. It would be someone who knows what that gas in that droid
oh my god, don't get me started.
Dismantling facility was. I'm pretty sure it's just steam.
Yeah, but why did it make everyone run?
Because it's a big leak in the system.
How did it happen?
They shot the big thing. Or punched or something.
I can't remember. It's so long ago. Well, the main one in the middle, the bendu, that I think we're all waiting to hear from you if it held up, and that's did Admiral Rampart's forehead hold up?
Okay, would you believe if I told you that I knew exactly that was the one you were going to say?
I do believe you.
I would say that Rampart's forehead held up as the best texture in the entire show.
The best texture.
The best texture.
Wow.
Like, what else would it even be? Like, I just adore how everything literally looks hand-painted in this show. And I noticed that in the concept art for, as I mentioned, the Royal Guards, how they had a note at the bottom that says, create this model with several different versions of brush strokes and like nicks. How they literally make, even though like all the clone troopers and everyone are the same model, they all look a little bit the same. Even the background people, like those guards on Wayland. There's just so much attention to stuff like this, which I don't think you get in many like 3D animated things.
Yeah, it's normally just the same thing copy pasted.
Yeah, look at the goddamn Attack of the Clones. I know it's like a 20-year difference, but it's also like probably like 100 million difference.
Yeah, true. Yeah, 100%. I think it all holds up like that. It really looks great when that kind of effort and detail put in.
Yeah. I am just in love with the visual style of Clone Wars, and
Rampart's forehead.
Especially Rampart's forehead. Clone Wars and Bad Batch. And I will be gutted if whatever the next animated show is doesn't seem like it has this amount of polish.
Yeah, what if it looks like Rebels again? Rebels Season 1.
I grew accustomed to Rebels. It took a while, though. I did appreciate the other quirks that Rebels had, how everything looks a bit more Ralph McQuarrie-esque. How everything is like long and thin. Long
Star Destroyers.
Long Yoda.
Oh my god.
Yoda for short. Yeah, Anakin and Yoda are the only two exceptions to that rule. And maybe Bo-Katan's forehead.
Yeah. Bo-Katan's forehead.
She's
But yeah, that is a bad forehead.
she's the brother to Rampart's forehead sister.
No, it looks like. Do you remember the guy from the Howard the Duck movie with the forehead?
Not too much. I was making a Mortis people reference.
Oh.
How the sister was the light side, which is Rampart's forehead. Brother's the dark side, which is Bo-Katan's forehead. And we will have to just find someone who has a neutral forehead to be the father.
Who's got a really flat forehead? Let us know in the comments below.
Gonki?
Donkey's forehead.
Oh, maybe, what about Cad Bane? Because he has that plate over his head.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, his china plate forehead.
Yeah, that's my triad of foreheads. Not triad. What do you call it?
Triad.
The Holy Trinity. The Force Trinity.
The forehead Trinity.
The Forcehead.
Forced head. No.
No, that's not what I said.
That is what you said.
I said Forcehead.
Okay.
Anyway. I feel like we've had enough of bendus for now.
Do you think we should go into our predicted?
It might be about time, yes. Unless you have some more of your ones in the middle to talk about, like the electrified tubes.
I thought those were cool. I thought that links with the attention to detail.
Or that you're a fan of shafts.
I am. I thought giving an explanation for why there's so many shafts around is way better than just them going through sewers all the time.
Indeed. The maintenance shafts is what I was talking about, which Freddy
From
knew. From Pantora, which we've seen many times under Lothal, under Mandalore, and many other places.
But we never knew what they were.
Yeah, now we know. And that they have towers attached to them as well.
But, Luke, what was your predicted light side for the entirety of the Bad Patch?
Right. We've talked about this extensively today already. I was convinced that cameos in this show will be very well handled.
Whoa.
I don't think that we had to predict Rex and Sogura because they were in the trailers.
Yes, that is true. Your other two cameos were not in the show.
Yeah, well, I thought that Boba Fett might be there, but Vader will not. But he will probably be mentioned.
Neither of that happened. Well, Boba Fett was mentioned, but didn't appear.
Yeah. But we had nothing about Vader, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, same. I thought that would be a bit out of place.
You don't want Vader to be spread too thin. He already kind of is.
Yeah, like not enough butter over too much bread.
Yeah, he's a bit of a Vader Baggins.
Vader Baggins.
Bill Baggins.
Whoa.
Darbo Bagder. Darbo sounds too much like Jabo. Let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not do Jabo.
Let's not pull it up.
Ban Jabo.
What about your light side, since we've talked about what the cameos were actually like fairly at length?
I said that there will be a variety of locations visited, which is true. I was correct. There'll be minimum of 6 planets, and there were way more. But I also said, according to you, that I said a minor one of seeing how Wolf and Gregor got their chips out, and that Gregor didn't die. And that is true, for Gregor not dying. We know that Gregor didn't die. We don't know about his chip. Yeah.
Well, we know that he didn't die. We still don't know how.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, but that's about it. So I was kind of right.
Yeah, you were pretty close. I'm not sure if Gregor got his chip out or if it just didn't work. Kind of like with Hauser, allegedly.
I think it wears off. That's my opinion.
It's possible. We will need to.
We need to find out.
Also,
I think that while this was my predicted light side, this would not be my light side. Gregor appearing would not be my light side for the entire show.
There is a reason why you made it just a minor thing. I don't think you thought even at the beginning that would be the best thing.
No.
That's why you put in the major one of the variety in locations.
Yeah. Which still isn't really my biggest light side, but yeah, it was pretty cool though. But what was your predicted dark side though?
My predicted dark side...
Oh, and was it true? Did your predicted dark side come true? I feel like there's no way any dark side could come true.
No. I'm sure that characters would not remain undeveloped, maybe with the exception of Hunter and Echo. It would be too weird if they did nothing with Echo and Crosshair just jumping ship or dying. I am obviously being facetious. Maybe with the exception of Hunter, he still wasn't great, as we've mentioned.
Yeah, because of the circles.
But was it literally my dark side? Yeah, well, it was my substitute dark side in case you said the lack of singular vision would be the shallowness of the leads.
I said lack of characterization as my dark side.
Oh yeah, so you did take my backup.
Yeah.
So both of us basically were worried about this, and lo and behold...
It came true.
On this level, they did not disappoint. Ish.
Yeah. Thank you, Bad Batch. You made us seem correct.
Yeah.
So this is why the Air-Deraan podcast is officially the greatest thing ever created by mankind, because we got one thing right.
Indeed. And we both thought about the same thing. We were both so original.
Whoa. I'm a free-thinking person. Oh, that's, the droid saying, we're all free thinkers.
Roger, roger.
Roger, roger.
Roger, roger. Yes, we're all individuals. Well, that's for the Brian.
And now there's my dark side. Yeah, well, my predicted dark side was that the transition period between Republic technology and Empire technology would be super short, with Star Destroyers being introduced way early. Luckily, that didn't really happen.
Yeah. We didn't get that last bit, at least. Well, any of this, really.
Yeah, if I saw a Star Destroyer, I would be very sad.
I think that...
It would be too early.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest proof that it didn't turn out to be was that they actually introduced like a middle point between the clone armors and stormtrooper armors,
which I'm very happy about. That was one of the things I said I would like, because the Force Unleashed's intro has it on Kashyyyk.
I think they are more distinct than the Force Unleashed suits, though.
They are, yeah. The Force Unleashed stormtroopers in the Kashyyyk mission at the start of the game, they look more like stormtroopers than they do than the ones in the Bad Batch look like. So
yeah, it's at least they're doing some things very right.
Yeah, I like it. It's interesting.
Yeah, like for all it's worth, we can never really blame them for not being creative with like designs and graphics.
Talking about designs and graphics, what was your predicted one in the middle of the Bendu for the entirety of the Bad Batch?
Well. I see you know your segues well. That was a bad one. I thought that...
I liked it.
Thanks. I thought that this show would introduce a new ship design that looks dumb and I hated. Originally, when I was talking about it, I meant like a prototype TIE fighter or something like that, which we didn't end up getting, unless we count the Omicron attack shuttle.
Which was already a thing from the Bad Batch arc.
Fair enough. And it wasn't really that dumb. But I think that we did end up getting that with Fennec Shan's very strange, over-designed ship.
Yeah, I do not like that ship.
But fortunately, we didn't have to look at it for too long, so...
Thank goodness, in my opinion.
in my opinion, too. She'll probably come
Unbelieved.
back, but she might have a different ship.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know. Speaking of things I don't know about, what about your one in the middle?
Well, my one in the middle, the Bendu predicted, would be that we would see the Crumb Bomber
Yeah.
being Salacious B. Crumb painted on the side of an LAAT. Unfortunately, we did not see that.
Yeah, up until this point, all of the animated shows had this design somewhere. The original Crumb Bomber, of course, being in Clone Wars, a piece of that bomber showing up in a bar in Rebels, and a recreation of that same art being in a different bar in Resistance. Although I don't think that in any of those shows it showed up in season 1.
That is true, actually. So potentially we could see the Crumb Bomber again, like in the next season.
Yeah.
But in my defense, I was under the impression that there will only be one season of Bad Batch when I made this prediction.
I think we all thought that. Just in case, because this prediction is kind of ongoing, I am going to give your prediction like a golden frame.
Whoa.
At least I'm trying to... Could you click away from it? It did not work.
Yeah, I have.
At least a frame.
Yeah.
Now it's golden. And we will see if we notice it after Bad Batch Season 2, because we're definitely still going to be going at it by then. I hope anyway. And maybe one day, you don't know, the Crumb Bomber will come back.
If only. That would actually be pretty cool.
Maybe.
Salacious B. Crumb lives on in memory.
Indeed.
He is dead, though.
Not at this point in the show, in the universe, though, but...
Maybe he'll appear, much like how the Rancor, which isn't actually the Rancor, but may have been retconned to be the Rancor, may appear. Maybe so can Salacious B. Crumb.
Maybe.
Maybe Mick Mayfeld. Baby Mick Mayfeld.
Mix Babefeld.
Whoa, Migs Baymax.
You seem to be a Gungan. You need to be put down.
That's how the Bad Batch will end. With AZ.
Yeah, I really wouldn't mind a little bit of animated Bill Burr. Apparently he doesn't actually hate Star Wars. He was just doing a bit because he's a comedian.
Oh, that is true. Don't think many people considered that. I didn't consider that.
Me neither, to be honest.
That he was just doing a bit.
Yeah. Apparently he got casted kind of by a coincidence-ish. Apparently Migs Mayfeld was written to be like a Bill Burr role.
Yeah.
But he actually got cast when he met the casting director on some guy's birthday party. That's where he was told.
I feel the need to say Duran after that for some reason.
Birthday party Duran.
I don't know why. I felt the need.
It probably wouldn't be the worst Duran that we've ever made.
Probably Train Duran is the worst one.
Train Duran is the worst one. And we're just getting started. We're 43-ish episodes in. Sky's the limit with how bad we can get.
Yeah. Oh my god. But sorry, as you were saying, you met a guy at a birthday party.
Yeah, that's about it. That's basically the end of the story. He met a guy at the birthday party and he was like, hey, you want to be in Star Wars? And apparently his wife was like, you really should do this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I am happy that this confluence happened.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see him replacing Cara Dune's character in whatever that show Rangers of the New Republic is.
You never know, he might.
Maybe he was always supposed to be there.
Whoa. That would be cool, though.
Maybe he is the Warden of the Galaxy.
I swear to God.
Nah,
I think the Warden of the Galaxy is a Jango Fett's wife situation.
No, they did actually.
I think it is.
He did say those words
canon.
in an interview.
Yeah, but I don't think it's canon.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a character note on how he's supposed to portray him.
maybe.
But I still don't know what it
portray
means.
him as the Warden of the Galaxy. It's like, well, thank you for the tip there.
Yeah, I definitely know what to do with this information.
Yeah.
I was going to play him as my Oscar-winning or Golden Emmy-winning performance as Gus Fring, but this is so much better.
Oh, I've got some bad news, Luke.
Do tell.
I've got some really bad news.
Oh, do tell.
This is actually going to ruin your day.
No.
This is from the behind the scenes for Moff Gideon's Wikipedia page. And I'm going to quote this. This is directly from interview with Giancarlo Esposito talking about the Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Breaking Bad at Fan Expo in Vancouver 2020. This is the panel you're talking about, and I'm going to read the thing. From Esposito's point of view, he does believe that Gideon genuinely wants to bring order and security to ultimately allow the universe to survive, and thinks of himself as the galaxy's, quote, top warden, who oversees that people don't overrun or take out each other. I'm sorry. He's not warden of the galaxy. He's the galaxy's top warden.
Well, creative license,
Creative light.
It doesn't roll off the tongue that well.
Maybe you should write to Giancarlo Esposito.
Maybe I should write his press releases so that he talks better. I don't know.
You're telling an actor to act better.
Well, English is neither of ours first language, I don't think. It might be his, I don't know. I know nothing about the man.
If it is, you're going to look bad.
I will. I will cut this bit. I don't like that joke anyway.
What? So he's American Italian and he was born in Copenhagen.
Well, that's a mix of places.
That's interesting.
It's interesting that he's American Italian and he keeps getting cast as like Cuban or whatever.
Yeah,
like the villain of the new Far Cry or whatever. Gus Fring.
Far Cry from something. I don't know.
Did you know that the Gus is actually short for asparagus?
Gus Asparagus.
Asparagus.
Asparagus. God, that's terrible.
That's actually a reference to cats. Ian McKellen's character's full name is Asparagus, but he goes by Gus.
I hate that.
So do I.
No, you don't. You secretly love it.
Well, no, I unconditionally love Cats 2019. But I do hate that Ian McKellen's name is Asparagus, the theater cat.
Yeah, I think all of those cats should be put down. I think.
Wow.
They're all slavers secretly.
I do not know of any proof that they are not in fact Zygerians.
Yeah, there's no proof to say to the contrary.
Yeah, the burden of proof, or whatever you want to call it, is on...
Yeah, the burden of proof totally isn't on me to prove that they're Zygerians. It's on you to prove they're not Zygerians. Totally. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, definitely. And the way this works is that we should be shot and killed in about 2 minutes, so... Before that happens, let's chill for a little bit so that we can blow this thing and go home.
Well, tell us what your opinions on the Bad Batch entire season were. What were your light sides, dark sides, and one in the middle, the Bendu? Were we right in saying the things that we said? Were we right in saying the cursed things that we said?
Yes.
Let us know.
Let us know at Air-Deraan, all one word, on Twitter.
Whoa, you could tweet there. Or you can post a comment on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, on Air-Deraan. Sorry, on space Air-Deraan, which is not all one word.
It is, in fact,
why I said space.
2 or 3 words, depending on your definition.
2 words, it's hyphenated.
Indeed. And similarly, on the space Air-Deraan is the way you can find us on other places.
On podcast services of your choice, including including Podbean, Spotify, and apparently Audible.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I don't know why, but we're there, Ron.
We're on Audible, guys.
We made it. We're finally on the same platform as everyone's favorite book, Art of the Game, or whatever it's called.
Game of the Art? What?
No,
Game of Thrones?
the pickup artist book.
Oh god, I don't want to.
I don't even know if it's on Audible.
Why?
I think I was thinking of Art of the Deal.
That sounds terrible. That's a terrible title, and whoever wrote that should feel bad.
Let me see if Art of the Deal is on Audible.
Why?
I just need to know. If it is, I will retroactively make that my dark side for The Passenger. Art of the Deal. Yep, sure is there.
Oh my goodness. Wow, I'm just gonna...
Let me just type it into the spreadsheet.
You can't change
Yes, I can.
history.
Well, there were no... I already did change history, and my dark side for the Marshal is Gina Carano being a terrible person. So let me just... Oh no, wait, that is for the passenger. So I'll make it for the Heiress.
Oh, why?
Art of the Deal is on Audible.
Changing history, guys.
I will look at this spreadsheet in like a year's time when I forget, and I will be so confused.
Right, well, I hope that you took that valuable information well, because I got a feeling we're not going to be able to say much more.
No, not much more at all.
Not at all.
That's the end.
You may fire when ready.